Okay, so I'm super stoked about this. This is the Stan Dare to Dream Challenge, and I'm kind of taking a little bit of a winter stroll out here, climbing one of my favorite hills in Greeley, Colorado, where I'm at right now. My name is Daniël-James Berg, and I have an immense amount of passion for things like this based on influencer, creator programs and stuff like that. So I connected on Hello Skip with Stan, so a big little connection there. And yeah, like I said, I'm an immigrant and I became a citizen about 2-3 years ago. It's been an insane journey, and I'm going to share more of that in this video so that you guys can explore it and check Stan out as well. And yeah, I'm kind of roaming around while my wife's not feeling great today. We have 2 kids, one's on the way. And yeah, jump into this next section so I can tell you more about how I ended up here with a 7-year-old business.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see us.
My story is much like other people in the sense that I didn't grow up with a ton, right? But you know, I enjoyed entrepreneurship. Almost bailed. This is how authentic this video is. Anyways, guys, I know I do all these kinds of crazy things, but I didn't grow up with much, so I knew sales and trying to make an income was important. I remember like some days all we had was bread to eat, you know, or people would come and bring us stuff to just keep us afloat. Like in South Africa, you're like under middle class. There's not a big gap of a middle class in the country, and so that was kind of what I was dealing with and trying to figure out. But I interned into a few different companies, worked as a waiter at a Spur restaurant, became like #1 salesperson there, and moved into some other career moves from that, where I became a design, video, web and marketing intern for an executive coaching company. So the next part of the journey, and I'm driving my kiddos here. I got the 2 of them in the back, but I'm going to take them to the gym for putt-putt and just get them out of the house while my wife's not feeling well. So part of the journey was that executive coaching company. This was in like 2012, and I left South Africa in 2013, the same time Mandela passed away. We were on the flight. So Mandela was an awesome inspiration and just amazing community builder. So over the years I've learned to build community, and then I worked for the executive company up in Colorado, where I'm at now, and Illinois and South Carolina, to where I needed to start my own thing, where I felt I could do more web and marketing and video for other companies. And little did I know how hard that journey was. And this was about 6 years ago. So in total, I've been doing marketing and web and video for over 10 years. And I learned how to, you know, speak on stage and do all kinds of stuff, you know, that would benefit and help other people. And what really touched me was the ability to give at least 11% of our revenue from profits to nonprofits. So one of them that I want to impact and that I did impact with doing a workshop, is called the Maximize AI workshop, is the Colorado Rebalance program, and that's for youth in trauma. And then there's also the Genesis project in Greeley that does single moms. So I would invite and donate to these organizations, as well as the local downtown library, but I would donate to these, and I would also invite those people for free to the workshop. So we taught them how to use these business tools. And so that leads me to the next part, which is about Stan and the company. Content creation piece really brings me alive, keeps me happy. So it was too cold out there to play putt-putt, so we decided we're gonna go play ball with the kiddos. Yeah, boy, come sis. She's got a football and everything. So I started a podcast in 2020, and that was very difficult to keep consistent. My business dropped down to 40%, and I had to do everything I could with my clients to keep everyone happy and alive. We were just kind of a few years into our marriage, figuring that out. And so the podcast was called the MoneyBru Show. I infuse South African culture with food and business content. And so I want to give that forward to people who want to be on the show and use the formatting for that with this Stan challenge. So I'm I'm sure I mentioned this, but the company's name is DJM Design, and I'm taking you to some of my coolest places that I enjoy here in Greeley, Colorado, like the DoubleTree, and then you've got Einstein right there on the mural. I think it was Armando or some other guy. But we started doing like merch products, and we'll be integrating that into Stan and the production that we're doing. So the merch products came out of working with like Natera, Fortune 500 company, Ford, and then sending out gifts to those clients and getting them excited about what we're doing. And so that's how those gifts and merch products tied into our website's maintenance, and as well as our website and marketing rewards for clients. It was like a way of saying thank you and just embracing people. And so yeah, we're going to integrate that with Stan. I think the link's already on there, so you guys can check that out, and no pressure. So the journey hasn't just been sunshine and rainbows, right? It has had its adversaries and challenges that I've faced. So, you know, my grandpa in South Africa passed away from cancer right after COVID, and my wife's grandpa had a stroke, and we've been supporting, and you know, obviously there's like a disruption in the family where you're trying to help that person get back to where they are. And so she's taken over some of his projects where, you know, he had a prayer breakfast that he started like so many years ago, and they have 600 people that show up. So she makes phone calls, schedules, you know, table sponsors to fill the event. And so I've been doing that with her to kind of support the journey and process. And that's what I was going to say for business owners. And what I found is freelancers have freed up time when I'm a busy dad, and like the shirt says, too many late nights, right? Always up, helping the kiddos, being that hybrid entrepreneur. Okay, so this is our last stop, and this is where I filmed the Maximizing AI workshop. We had 25 people in person, 25 online-ish, and it's been rerunning, and 160 members have been through it. I don't have a huge following, and shared with people how to use AI and stuff. Like, we built a call center for a roofing company, and they got like $100,000 refund, which was pretty incredible. Like, look at this place. So we'd use the funds in two certain ways. It would be 50% to the freelance team, 20% to the rerunning the workshop, 20% to content and doing more things like this, 10% to taxes, and then of course I'm going to push this out on every piece of social I have, not just on the Instagram. I love you guys. I appreciate the opportunity. I will make this happen.